Okay, I'm in for Taurus for spirituality for the holidays. I'm going to get to it here. I have an Isis card that I'm going to show and read. Overall energies, Lunar Queen, she of the celestial crescent. There's been a lot in the readings in my infinity room as well here. Lunar Queen. Lunar Queen is right at the back of the book. Okay. So it says there's a deep feminine wisdom that recognizes the importance of cycles and rest and replenishment as essential balancing to our actions of power and demonstration. You're asked to allow this replenishment for yourself now, trusting that you are in a cycle of creation that is about to shift into a new phase. Release and enjoy the process without having to control or force it. Cycles of creative power and flow. So we may be, there's a lot of stuff that wants to enter. There's a lot of things that the Taurus may have been dealing with in their spheres, right? Issue-wise, lesson-wise, this kind of thing. Sense they're giving me is that there's going to be another wave of this. There's going to be a bit of a title on this because there's a lot more that needs to be dealt with, and it's coming. That's what I'm getting. So this should be heavy for the Taurus. Is kind of like we got the first wave, which is like, slow and low, and the next one's coming in. It's going to blow us away. But again, these are tidal waves of things we need to clear out. So if we're not up on, we don't realize what they are, we're going to come to a point where we're going to see them quite clearly. Is the sense I'm getting. First card here, embrace the masculine. We may need to, this may be where some of our faults lie, is what they said, but some of our issues lie is with a feminine, or sorry, with a masculine within our field. Yeah, really, that's what I'm getting. Embrace the fact. So this is really where they're gonna get you to turn in that direction and look directly at your partner or a masculine in your life that we may need to deal with issues with, and it may be our partner plus father figures in our life. So it might be an abundance of all of this. So we're going to be bombarded by this in the coming years. The sense that I'm getting. Next card, Seven of Air. There's the yin yang symbol with the coins. You know what? I'm going to look and see what they got for this, because really what I'm getting is a great balance in finances and spirituality. And I think when we're going to have to deal with these masculine issues, we're going to have problems doing that and keeping afloat. That's what I get there instinctively, but I'm going to see what Seven of Air, what that brings out here. The answers you seek are within the questions that you ask. So why aren't things going right with my husband? Because things aren't going right there. We need to fix them, this kind of thing. This is really the direction the what do you call that? The compass is going. Masculines in our life, maybe within ourselves, the masculine feminine balance, maybe things within our partner that we need to clear up or, clear away. This kind of thing I feel is just where we're headed. Next card is the youth. We may have children around here too as well that we are either like ganging up, is what they said, we're ganging up on. We're either trying to get someone to gang up on a masculine, or within our family, though, I feel like it's lighthearted. It's not like we're going, but it's almost like we need someone on our side to do this. It may have to do with a feminine masculine balance. There's a youth here that has, this guy always has his hand on the pulse of life. So there's a spiritual essence here to a youth in our midst. Maybe our children, may not be. It may just be a younger, more youthful person that is around us that has more of a lighthearted outlook on things. They may be of help to us during this time to balance out these energies, is what I'm getting. I do get it's almost like I need one on my side to understand how this works, is what I'm getting. So that'll be highlighted, I think, this time. Okay, next card. Heed the messenger. Again, listening to our instinct, right? And not only listening to it, but taking action from it and doing and going in that way. Taurus, I think, could take all this stuff in, but when they act is a different story, because they love to see it all and analyze it all and perfectly lay it out. But am I going to use it? I don't know. There's a hesitation I get here. But again, if there's issues here having to do with any of that masculine side, it's going to be illuminated to the point where we really can't avoid it anymore. Next card is 2, would be like the Empress, talking about wisdom. We have the cup of love and the sword of truth, or sphere, or whatever that is. No, it's a sword. Trying to keep balance between our heart and our mind, really, is what I'm trying to, needing to look at this, is what they said. Look at the heart and look at the mind and balance things out. So this will be something they're doing over this time. And then, of course, the action needing to be taken, the fire, right? Where are we going to go with this? And again, I feel like that's landing. I don't know if it's landing, right? The gears not coming out of the hatch there. I think they're just kind of, they want to figure things out in their head, and they feel very solid in doing that. And we may feel very victorious in doing that. But as for the action, I'm not too sure. We're going to keep going here, because I feel like this is just hovering. Like we could take action. We know exactly what action to take if we were, but is it going to happen? I don't know. Let's see. Seek your destiny. So they really want you to go forward where you feel propelled to go. They want you to succeed in this area. So this is why they're bringing the issues up, because it'll help us succeed. It'll create no blockages, right? If we deal with these issues here that we have personally, privately, within a family, within whatever, it makes it a lot smoother when we go outward to our destiny to attain that and not have anything in the way of that. And that's what they want for you. So this is interesting. 10 of air. This is interesting, because this is like a tarot reader, right? Give me a moment. We may go to some readers or energy workers to suss out where it is. I think we've got a good grip in our mind of what we want, but we kind of want to go to the supernatural realm and see what comes out, to add it to the mix and go, okay, how does this feel? You know, because I feel very much an apprehension of moving, taking any action. I just don't feel they want to do this. So we may be going to a reader in order to see a little bit into the future, give us some options or give us some ideas that come out of the blue. Something that's not in my own head. I want to hear options that I have, is really what I get. And then the 8 of Earth. There's a woman there with a scepter, like she's all decked out, right? Like the Earth Mother. Only she's there for business. I feel like that thing in her hand. It's like, I've earned this and I've come forth, you know, da da da. I feel like this is the energy that the universe wants you to feel solid and secure in something, is really what I feel through this card. because she looks like she's been there for a while, like she's earned her right, like she fits. This is where I think that Taurus is kind of trying to figure out where they fit. And they may think where they fit, but they don't want to make a mistake and go in that, take an action in that direction and then say, oh, no, I don't fit here. Or they may have found their career sector, but don't know exactly where, who to gravitate to specifically, this kind of thing. So they're going to want some help outside of that to feel secure in where they are and where they're at. There's something here I'm not seeing. Oh, yeah. They're going the tree trunk and being solid and grounded in that, right? We want to go to a place. So we don't want to have to jump back out again. We want to be able to have strong roots here. So we're tippy-toeing into that area of, I feel like a lot of the energy I'm picking up is more in career direction, but nonetheless, we want to make sure that the direction that we go, no matter, is solid and secure, and we're not going to have to back out or move, or this is what we're looking for. And this kind of hasn't come in our field yet to a degree. And there's also like there's a little bit of wanderlust left. We got to figure out a few more things before we feel like we can go directly in one way. What do you know? Embrace the feminine. What you talking about? Willis, look at these two are a pair. Oh. You know, when I see these two together, I get, it's interesting because they're two separate, but I get it's those parts of us that we don't accept. We may, like I still stand by my energy here of the masculine, embracing a masculine in your midst. But now that I see as we move to the feminine, it's almost like we got to accept all of ourselves fully and completely in order to move forward. So our masculine self, our feminine self, ourself, as we move forward. This is what I'm getting. Now, this could also mean a pregnancy coming as well. But for the most part, I feel like it's fertility of, things are going to start to open up once we solve our personal problems. And a lot of people don't see the correlation there. And they go, what do you mean? Like, I have to deal with my issues in order to get a career? Like, no. And they're like, yes, it makes it more fluid. We can do this, but we'll have stumbles along the way. They want to make it fluid for you. So we move in and we don't have no hangups, no nothing. So in order to do that, they want you to work on those personal issues, lessons, That egg is an opportunity that is coming our way. I feel like there's going to be an opportunity coming our way. Now, if we don't deal with our issues, we, one, may not see this opportunity, may let it pass by. Two, may not want this opportunity because of the issues and may let it slip by. And three, give me a minute. Yeah, it may be created by ourselves, is what they said. We can create these opportunities, but if we have issues and whatnot holding us back in fear, then we just don't. So they're wanting you to get past that. And there's an inability to see why, but just trust. Just trust us, right? And go through that. Now, here we go, 4 of air. In the shadows, right? I was talking about fear. Without even knowing this was the next card. Now, there's the black cat, the black crow, the man walking down the path with, does he have, looks like he's got no. Almost looks like he's got a sword. You can see on his belt there. Yeah, it is kind of like a sword, but it's just a reflection. But it looks like a sword. They're feeding the crow grapes. They're hovering, protecting that cat and the money. Give me a minute here. Because the sense of this card is like we just got to turn the corner and then it'll, there's light there, or there's light guiding us, right, from the behind, even though it's dark and there's dark things around us. We have to have faith that we'll get through. And the sense here is that we may be... because I was going back to the career reading, we may be very meticulous in what we want and whatnot. But when it comes to our fears, we have to bust through that. Yeah, there's something here about fears not allowing us to go forward, and we have to deal with those fears in order to get forward. It doesn't go the other way around. So 8, yeah, there it is. And then we will start to illuminate from the ground up. This guy's happy. He's in his happy, right? They're going, this is us now, kind of hiding in the shadows and not wanting to come out. And they're going, this is where we want you to be. And in order to do that, we really do have to learn about ourselves to the highest degree so we can be proud of ourselves, come out of the shadows, what they're saying, and just be, you know, unlimited in who we are. And part of that may be embracing the part of us that maybe we have issues with on the feminine and masculine side, also dealing with our family in the same way. Bringing out those issues to deal with them once and for all to help us feel more content and going forward. Because as long as we have these things unresolved, they will keep tripping us up and preventing us from moving forward. Okay, the fate of your spiritual sector here. Respect your boundaries. Yeah, so another thing, right, as part of the evolution path is creating those boundaries and standing up for them. So respecting and making sure that we tend to the boundaries that we set for others, toward us, ourselves going outward, this kind of thing. Mother of fire, yeah, the warmth, right? Warmth of action. I feel like that's where they're sitting. They're going, yeah, I can act, but I don't feel like it. Why? Because I haven't finished dealing with my emotional issues yet. When I do and I'm free and clear, then I'll be jumping in the fire. I will be the fire. Never mind. I'll be jumping in. We'll be creating fire wherever we go. The problem here is there's boundaries that need to be either set, stood up for, whatnot. Once we get in that zone, then it frees up. Like I'm feeling very burdened, very limited, very restricted. So they need that off of you so you can go forward free and clear. It's not happening, or it's in the process of happening, maybe over the season or into the new year. This is what we got to work on to get free. Yeah. 9. 9 of air. And that's about, you know, in my, again, I'm not a traditional tarot reader. I don't go by the book. This woman is trying to, you know, connect with all of her energy centers here, just in the mind alone, thinking and dealing with a lot of truths in her life. And again, the sword here, like the lotus, right, grows in a swamp where there's dirt and muck. And the sword of truth is that dirt and muck that's underneath. That has to be dealt with. There's truths here. We have to deal with those truths. And then we flower and go outward, and then all gets illuminated from her hands. Everything goes upwards. And then, you know, because it's almost like the throat center and the way up, that all needs to be flushed. Like by flushed, I mean, we need to speak up for our rights here where boundaries are being infringed. We need to be heard. And secondly, once we're heard, we have to stand up for those boundaries, make damn sure that nobody crosses them again. And if they do, just you're on them. Like, yeah, no, we can't do that. No, I told you, and this, I stand up for this. Okay, yeah, you're right. Right? And we don't want people going over. There's a high end here in the career sector. There's a high end at just being right on that, like so tight with that energy of boundaries and what will or won't happen and regulations and what I will allow and I won't allow. But in the spiritual end, it's just all. And then they were explaining to me this morning when I got up, they're like, you know, people can have boundaries really good in the love sector, but they can have them really bad in the spiritual or career or whatever. They can have it completely, how do you say, like golden in one area and then completely black in another. And it's like, what? And I know this for a fact because that's the way it is for me as well. There's certain areas that we can do good and certain areas we don't. Like my spiritual seems pretty good. As long as you're not in denial, right? So anyway, This is an area here. Like, I feel like the career, they're on it. They're on it, man. They're on it like flypaper. But the spirituality is kind of like we're not grounded. We're not grounded with our spiritual. And I don't mean your belief systems. I mean people infringing on you, making you feel bad for whatever reason. We don't stand up for that. We don't speak to that. These things needs to be dealt with, needs to be empowerment, needs to be there. And in order to do that, you got to set boundaries and then maintain them. So anyway, blah, blah, blah. Speech. That's your fate. Your fate is to set these boundaries and stand up for them, because you'll gain power and wisdom this way, right? So if we're not doing that, we need to do that, because it'll help us feel better, period. Focus and then act. I feel like they're doing this in the career sector, so they know how. They know how to do this. Just the motivation is not there to do it spiritually. It doesn't create any havoc, but it will start to when we start to go in our career sector. There's going to be havoc there because issues are across the board. Give an example. So say we got problems with our husband and we're having a bad day with our husband, and we don't deal with those issues. I mean, you see this one coming. Then we go to work and we're mad and we're unhappy and we're like maybe more aggressive than we would be, or more passive than we would be, or grumpy, and things don't go well. And that energy transfers, right? So we want to fix all these things so our life is quite fluid and quite happy and content. If there's things that are wrong, we want to fix them, then it's off your back. It's like that monkey that's there. And then act on things that we feel we should be acting on. Or maybe that's the problem here, is that we focus, we got it all up in our head, but when it comes time to react, we don't. I don't like the word react, actually, but when it comes time to take action, we don't. And that's what I'm feeling is to our detriment. It's not going to help us if we let everything just fly by, because it's really hurting us, but we're in denial of the hurt. This is what's going on. 6 of air. Yeah, the cat there, I always see her as kind of guarding some information. It's like the universe is trying to get you information here, and something's blocking you from getting. And the same thing comes up. It's a fear to find out what's on the other side of this. If we stand up for ourselves, what's going to happen? You know, and it's like, well, take your scenarios and lay them out. Say, this could happen, this could happen, this could happen, and walk down each one of them and figure which one feels right. And if we sacrifice things in our life, we are going to be put out for it. So a sense of, breaking through fears is what I get. We just really have to break through our fears. One, to deal with the information, the issues that we got. There's a lot of fear around that, dealing with that. And there's a lot of fear around acting on anything that because I think we have it all in our head already, but we just don't want to act from it. Yeah, the counselor. maybe time for some counseling. It's not a laughing matter. I mean, I wish everybody got a counselor right as soon as they're bored. It could do you good, right? So scoping some smart partners to talk to in that way about it, talking about it, period, whether it's to that partner or not. There's things here that need to be said and spoke of. I feel more it's from the Taurus outward. They need to speak of things first, and then because sometimes just saying something can relieve you of it. You may not have to say it to that person, but speaking about it to a friend, sometimes it can relieve that monkey on your back feeling, right? So heavy stuff, more stuff coming. That's the thing. I think Taurus is going, oh, this is enough. No, because we got so much, we got to release it. So there's another wave of stuff coming. They're saying, but don't let your fears get in the way, because it'll all blow to smithereens. This is what makes us blow, is this fear. So if we stop ourselves from being fearful, like whatever's blocking you in that way, there's gonna be some escalations points is what I get. So pick a counselor hopefully over this season that you can talk to at least, even if you're not talking to the person in question that you need to, talk to somebody else about it that you trust. The planetary card is the moon in Cancer, about belonging, sensitive introspective phase. We have to find out where our belonging sits. We may not feel like we belong anywhere, and we need to feel like we belong to ourselves. Belonging to ourselves is enough. We don't have to belong to anybody or anything, but we have to feel secure in ourselves. And that is, I think, what this one may be going through here, is a sense of figuring out where I belong. And maybe that's the fear, is that I don't belong anywhere. But you are who you are, and you get along with who you get along with, and you go from there. That's the thing. Sometimes the word or the category can make it sound more drastic than just living things on your own terms. Again, moon, emotions, Cancer, belonging. So we got to figure out our emotional center. We may have some purging there to get us to a point where we can deal with our issues around where we belong, really. And that's the thing. I think we're being codependent with energy going outward. And it's like, no, just where do we belong? Where do we fit? And it's like in comparison to who? To myself. What do I like? What do I like to do? Da, 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 da. The more that you figure these things out, the more you know what happens outside of you. Like the more you can go, oh yeah, that person, I feel like I belong in that area, or that person doesn't suit me because I don't like this, that, and the other. It's like, I feel like we haven't self-discovered enough, and therefore we don't know where we belong. Therefore, either that, or we may feel like we don't belong because we have those issues there that are unresolved, and we got to emotionally go there and drain them. Emotionally drain your issues that you've had. If you've had hurt in the past, and you felt hurt by someone kicking you out of the soccer game because you can't play right or whatever, you got to feel that out and then go to the next one. When you're 13, you're left out at the dance, whatever. You go there, you deal with that, you call that out. Okay, when I was 25, go down the ring, because everybody's got a story at some point or another where they were left out. So you have to feel that in order to get over it. Otherwise, it just rips your life apart. It's like driving a Mustang down the road and your brakes are on. Like it's just holding you back. So don't want to do that. We want to go flying forward. So they're going to bring up these issues in your face, heavy duty, turbocharged over the next while to let you see it. So if we don't deal, we're going to have problems going forward. But if we do, just feel it. Feel it. If you feel it and nothing else, that's enough. So, the Lunar Queen was talking about, the celestial crescent, and I can't even remember what there's key words here that keep me. She was about an energy of advancement. I remember that. Come on. Yeah, it was expansion. I can't find it. But anyway, is it about expanding the energy? And the tidal wave that I felt coming in from that was the energy that, we've dealt with. Oh, phew. And it's like, oh no, we had it up to our knees. Now we're whoosh, we're going to get. But the thing is, we want it to get cleared. And the thing is that we've had it up to our knees all along, and we ain't listening. So we got to get a tidal wave in order to get it coming in the right way. And the moon in Cancer, talking about belonging, that really is the root cause here, I think. Is we have some Taurus here that may not feel like they belong anywhere, and they need to figure out where that is. Because universally they belong, but they got to understand that, not anybody else. So, that was a little bit heavy for the Taurus. They're going pretty deep. but not deep enough for our issues to get resolved, really, is what it is. So hopefully that helps you over the winter season, over Christmas. Take care, have fun, be kind, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year.